You and your team are launching a new tech startup. You're planning to raise money, to build a prototype, and then to sell your product or service. You know you need to think about a patent strategy. But really, what does a patent strategy mean? What does it look like? How many patent applications do you actually need to file? Let's talk about that now in this video. Hi, my name is Carr Ferrell. I'm a Silicon Valley patent attorney and longtime member and investor in the Silicon Valley Band of Angels. Welcome back to my channel. By way of quick review, a patent is a government grant. It's a monopoly to exclude others from making, using, or selling your invention for a period of 20 years. In exchange for getting this grant, you agree to write down your invention and record it in the patent office for others to use in the future. As a tech startup, patents help your company by preventing others from stealing or copying your products. And because with patents, your technology is more secure from being taken or copied, it makes it easier for investors to put money into your company, makes them feel more secure about their investment. And because of this, normally, if you have patents, the valuation of your company to investors will generally be higher. I've mentioned in others of my videos that one of the first questions that you often get when pitching to investors is, what patents do you have that protect your technology? Or what does your patent strategy look like? Now, having worked with lots of startups and being an investor myself in startups, I can tell you that the number of patents that you have is not so important as having a plan or a patent strategy for the future. The goal of every company that is investor-backed is to continually grow the value of the company. Investors put their money into a company because they want to put their money to work. They want to invest in something today that will be more valuable tomorrow. And a patent strategy can provide that roadmap for a bigger future. So what does a patent strategy look like? Well, in its simplest form, a patent portfolio should be focused on the customer. It's not the technology so much that we're trying to protect, but rather we're trying to monopolize the company's relationship with its customers. The patent strategy should always focus on this customer relationship and the reasons why customers do business with the company. Why is it that customers are doing business with the company? It's because they get something from the company that they can't get anywhere else. And as surprising as this might sound, it's generally not the technology that creates that relationship between the customer and the company. It's something else. There's an experience that gets created when the customer does business with a successful company. Nobody really cares about buying a 1/4-inch drill bit. What they really want is a 1/4-inch hole. So when thinking about building a powerful patent strategy for the future, the focus should be on this customer relationship and the unique experiences that are created in the relationship between the customer and your company. It's the experiences that we want to monopolize. The patents themselves protect the technologies that actually create those experiences. Okay, to talk about how a patent strategy might work, let's take a simple example. A few years ago, I received a gift of a candle. Now, I'm not really a candle person, but this candle was pretty amazing. It was made by a company called Yankee Candle. At the outset, let me emphasize that I have no relationship with Yankee Candle. They've never been a client. They don't sponsor my videos. I just like their candles. Now, when I received the candle and took it out of its packaging and lit it, I was literally blown away by the sensory experiences that came from this candle. It really was an exceptional product and way exceeded my expectations for a candle. So as someone who focuses a lot on building business monopolies, I was thinking about what is it about this candle that I really love? What experiences am I getting from this candle that are so powerful to me? First of all, it was visually beautiful. Everything from the packaging to the hourglass shape of the candle jar to the wooden lid that screwed tightly onto the candle jar with a rubber grommet. And even the wick of the candle was super interesting with this cross hatch of wooden slices. Now, the second thing I loved about this candle became obvious after lighting it. The burn was beautiful. The flame that came out of it was sparkly and jumped around like a campfire. The color of the flame, the jumping shape of the flame, and the crackling noise that was being made as the flame consumed the wax in the wick. And as the candle continued to burn, I was impressed by the consistency of the flame and the experience that was created. And finally, at least for me, there was this very interesting fragrance, this scent that was created, reminiscent of a Cub Scout bonfire of my youth. The scent was light and suggestive and not overpowering, and as I continued to use the candle in the subsequent weeks, the scent continued just as it was when the candle was new. So these are my three primary experiences. The reason I love the candle when I first tried it, and the reason I purchased subsequent candles after that from Yankee Candle. Now, what's interesting about each of these experiences, that each experience can be protected by intellectual property. I went to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office database, and I found that Yankee Candle, in fact, had many patents that protected technologies that enabled these three experiences. For example, design patents that cover the shape of the container of this and other products that they have. The waxes, for example, and the other interesting technologies that enable this beautiful flame and the consistent burn also were protected by patents. And likewise, Yankee Candle has numerous patents that protect their fragrances. Now, obviously, Yankee Candle is not a startup. It's been around a long time. But if you're going to build your own patent strategy, start with the reasons that you believe the customer is going to really love your product. What is it about your product or your service that's going to draw your customer in, that's going to encourage them to spend money on your product and services? It's often helpful to brainstorm these experiences with your team members. What are the 2 or 3 experiences that are going to be really compelling about what it is you're selling? And then for each of these experiences, brainstorm the technologies that you're going to need or that you already have that are going to enable the experiences. What container shapes do you have or user interfaces? What are your wax combinations or chemical compounds that make the beautiful flame in your product or make that suggestive and powerful scent? And then for each of these experience buckets, prioritize the inventions. Which of the technologies are most important for creating the experience? You're probably not going to be able to or not even want to file all your patents at once, so prioritize the order in which these patents should be filed. It's very likely that a few of the inventions will already be fleshed out and ready for patenting, while other of the ideas are still aspirational and not quite fully baked yet. These will be a lower priority on your list. And then once you have your patent list prioritized, think about which of these patents you might want to file in the coming 12 months. Which ones need some more work and can be pushed out? The actual scheduling of these patent filings will depend on a lot of things, including when the invention will first be made public and funds that might be available for filing patent applications. If you're a pre-funded startup, even just filing 1 or 2 provisional patent applications might be the right number for you. If you're investor funded or profitable, filing 2 or 3 or more patent applications a year might make a lot more sense. After 3 or 4 years, when the investors start beginning to look for an exit, you'll already have a dozen patent applications on file, some of which will certainly have issued into granted patents. The important takeaway here, though, is it's not so important the exact number of patent applications that you file as a startup, but rather that you have a plan, that you have a strategy for building a bigger future. Okay, that's all I have to say today about patent strategies. If you need help with your company's patent strategy or patent applications, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message at the email address below. If you found this video helpful, I think you'll find this next video helpful as well. I'll see you over there.